was a dark night. I sort of like hid by these big trash dumpsters, looking over at this lady. And as she went back up to the car to pump the gas in, I walked over there to it, pushed her out the way, got into the car. And getting into the car, it was an odd feeling, because getting into the car, I could, you realize I'm getting into someone else's car. Here's her purse right here. Here's all her belongings. What am I doing? But I had this other urge to get the drugs. So I got in the car, and she's pulling along the side of the car, asking me in Spanish, I assume, to, what am I doing? I'd get out of her car, and I just pulled off. And that's how the carjacking started. Yeah. But it was all induced for me wanting to get more drugs, and more drugs.
My partner went inside, right? And I was outside sitting in the car, right? And then I heard a shot. Bang. And the first thing that came to my mind is, oh man, here we are. I'm in a shooting. I'm in the middle of the street. There's cars coming up and down. And, he came running out of the store and he was bleeding. And, I pulled the car up. I threw him in the car. We didn't even know where the bullet was at, but it was in him. The bottom line is, when drugs control something, and it controlled my life, that even after that incident, the following day I had to do something else. In other words, it was just that constant drive, that the power that my addiction had over me.
At the age of 9 years old, my Uncle Blackie used to take us out back, and there was a post that he used to tie us to, me and my brothers, to beat us. This one night, it was done at nighttime, and during a hot summer night too, and he stripped me down and beat me, and then he turned around and molested me. And it, and it fucked with my life as I grew up, because that was basically, I was married 25 years to the same woman, and I never ever told her that, the abuse I went through as a kid, because I always tried to block it out. And how I would block it out, man, was I used drugs. That was the way I took care of all my feelings,
I was raised up in a home with an alcoholic adopted mother who was very violent, and a adopted father who chose not to see what was going on there. There were bullwhips. There were belts with metal suction holes, locked in closets, being put in the back of a U-Haul and driven across the state of Texas in the back of this U-Haul. I started running away when I was, I think 12 or 13. I ended up being roommates with this gal that I worked with. I'd gotten some little receptionist job or something, and she brought this guy home one night. And, was talking about how great looking he was, but he wasn't interested in her, and so he introduced us, and he took me out to dinner and wined me and dined me. We went to after hours clubs, and, he said the 3 magic words, I love you, and he said that without hitting me. So I thought he really meant that. And about a week to 10 days later, I was standing out on a corner turning tricks, pregnant. I was 17 and pregnant. And before it was all over, I was loaded and didn't care. And then I found out that started working for me out in the street. I could get loaded. I could go turn all the tricks I needed to turn so that I could go home and go to sleep. And I didn't care.
I was a small one. I would bust into doggy doors at homes and take liquor, run out of the store with cases of beer. Everything I did was to get loaded. Everything. I had to wake up, I had to get loaded. There was no reason for it, I had to do it. And it didn't matter what I did to do it. I was willing to take any risk to get loaded.
I saw myself getting worse. I saw myself lying a lot. That was a low point.